Hey, it's Friday. I'm Sadia Davis and I'm here, the Center for Creative Entrepreneurship. I tell you, a whole week has flown by. I feel like I was just telling you it was Casual Friday, sharing some real inspirational relaxation and de-stress and reducing anxiety. That was last week. Anyways, this week I'm really excited because I'm going to only be here for a couple more seconds. Well, maybe a couple more minutes. I'm turning over today's show to AIBI, the Apparel Board Industry, Inc. But before we do that, I've got some announcements just to keep you guys in the loop on what's going on. I'm really excited that, in fact, Martin Atkins, who happens to be a CCE advisor, is going to be hosting the Midwest Music Expo. And on May 9th, he will be leading a workshop called The Art and Entertainment in a Time of Crisis. So I'm really excited to have him speak to you guys next week. We'll bring him on to delve a little bit in to what he's going to be talking about during his music expo. But first, before we get started with the AIBI takeover today, I've got this really cool mask, right? And the thing about it, we're all sheltered in place, but in a minute, we have to protect ourselves and protect others. So as you know, we are all wearing masks. Well, today, it happens to be about fashion and the industry and how people are making things, doing things differently. Fashion experts, you'll be really excited to hear from. I'm going to let Kat introduce them. But right now, I'm going to put this on. And I just want you to see how beautiful the color, the texture, and what makes it unique is it is designed and sewn by a medical professional. I want to introduce you to Dr. Tamara Gant.
Hi.
Hi. I think you're seeing patients today, so I'm not going to keep you very, very long.
Okay.
So tell me, tell us, what inspired you to make these masks?
Well, Sadia, I had masks that were just cloth. In the reports in CNN, they say how, it's important that we cover our face and our nose with cloth. And I said, well, why don't we have something that's more protective, like what I have in the dental office? So I decided to create a mask that has protection inside. In addition to the filter that's built inside the mask, there's also a pocket where you can actually put an additional filter. And that's just for added protection. I mean, I see patients every day and it's important to stay safe. So I said, hey, why not make it for just the everyday person? So I'm just excited to be able to provide that for people.
Well, I have to say, Dr. Gant, Dr. Doolin, okay. That was another life. But what I have to say about it is it fits really well. It has the nice adjustable bands, and it's not difficult to breathe through it. Also, the fact that you are a medical professional makes me feel that much more comfortable and confident that nothing's getting through here. So you guys want to have a really great protective mask. Not only can I tell them how much it costs?
Yes.
It's only $15. Thank you. It's not, I know you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it so that people can be protected. And might I add, in a very stylish way. So I don't want to keep your patience.
Okay.
Thank you for the work that you're doing and staying safe and keeping others safe as well.
Okay. Thank you, Sadia.
Thank you so much, Dr. Doolin. So I recommend you guys, there's her email address. You can put in your order. She ships through UPS and it's pretty fantastic. So with all that, I'm really excited to share this platform with one of our CCE industry partners, AIBI, Kat Anderson.
Hey, Sadia, it's great to see you, even if we can't be together in person.
Oh, I know.
And thanks for sharing the space with us. I mean, I know you well, and I don't know how well everybody else knows AIBI, but we have joined up to talk about fashion with the Center for Creative Entrepreneurship. And AIBI is the Apparel Industry Board, Inc. We help support local fashion designers as well as industry professionals and garment making. And one of the things that we do is we help network with other designers and contractors. We host workshops and seminars, especially about the business of fashion. We also have a new fashion lab that can get you access to tools and machinery and things like that.
And that's at 2112.
That is at 2112, one of our community partners, and we're super, super, super excited about it. We actually just got everything moved over into the new location, and it's going to be set up and ready to access very shortly, as soon as, you know, things settle down.
We can leave our homes. Well, listen, I trust you and your ability to take over this platform. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thanks to, and I want to say one more shout out. It's Dana Todd's birthday. Happy birthday, Dana. Really excited about the fact that she's joining us. And Everett, thank you for taking time. Sheryl Roberts, and again, Dr. Tam Doolin, really appreciate you guys and all that you're doing out there. Have a blast today.
Well, thank you so much, Sadia. I'm really excited about all the designers that we're going to be working with and bringing up to meet you all out there and the other side of our computers. But one of the reasons why we're having this conversation now is that we're coming off of the end of Fashion Revolution Week. It's something that is brought around, I want to say it's been around for 6 years now, and comes over the anniversary of the Rana Plaza incident, where over 1,000 garment workers were killed. And one of the things that we're trying to do with Fashion Revolution and Fashion Revolution Week, and we join in with Fashion Revolution to share information on how we can make more sustainable and more ethical choices, not only with what we're making as fashion designers and industry professionals, but with what we're wearing ourselves. And so one of the things that we need to do first is to start thinking long term. We need to start thinking about a cyclical life to a garment versus just a linear. We're not going to just make something to be worn a few times to be thrown away. We're actually producing so many garments that I want to say it was something like, let me check my notes. Yeah, about 5% of all landfill space in the world is actually taken up by garments, garment waste, and all of that. And that seems even 1% too much. So one of the things that you can do on top of thinking long term is to look at making garments that are going to be lasting longer, things that could potentially be altered. Things that can be mended in ways that are, aesthetically pleasing. And one of the things that you want to do is invest in fit. And one of the ways that you can do that is by working with custom designers. And one of our local designers who does amazing, and I mean amazing custom work, is Everett. Anne has pieces that are usually made uniquely just for the individual clients. And when I see a piece of Anne's, the first word that comes to my mind is cool. Incredibly cool, incredibly chic. So let's bring on Anne Everett.
Hi, everyone. Hey! How are you? So glad to be part of this.
So excited to have you. So excited because look at where you're at. We're in your studio, correct?
Yes, I am every day. It's my normalcy. How can I say that? Yes.
Good. Well, this is amazing because you're also giving us kind of an insider's look on top of getting to meet the designer.
Yeah.
Why don't
you? Very exciting.
Can we see a few of the pieces that you have behind you? Can you describe a little bit about what Anne Everett is?
Absolutely. The majority of my pieces, I would say, are mostly organic fibers and natural fibers, which is my thing. I love to upcycle pieces. For instance, this piece here is a jumpsuit. So it's cotton. And then I took apart an old denim jacket and just added some denim pieces to it. And this makes it, to me, one of a kind. And it's kind of one of those forever pieces. I also hardly ever do color, but this at this space in our lives, I decided to do some color because it just made me feel good. And this is another new piece for me. It's overalls, it's red linen, It's kind of washed out, and I love this, and it's fun, and it just, when I see it, it just makes me smile, which I think is really important right now. Also, these, I love to use local artisans. That's all I basically use. I want to keep it here actually in Chicago whenever I can. And that's, I would say 95% of my sewers and everybody that I use is from here. And that also makes me really happy. So this is hand knit. I just got this in yesterday, and I think this is beautiful. Also, let's see what else I can show you. This is a little cashmere vest that is a great little layering piece. And I have one of my signature shirts. It's my origami, which now I can't find because I just said that. So that you would layer it over all your white shirts. So that's kind of fun too. Let's see what else I can tell you. So this is a new piece of mine. It's denim, and then I love denim because I think it goes with everything, and I think it looks great on mostly everybody. Let's see what else. Oh, here's my origami shirt, but I normally do it in just white or black cotton. And this is probably, I'm very Japanese inspired with my designs. I love architectural pieces. I love things to be layered. I love women to feel comfortable. I hate things that are tight. I don't care what size a woman is, as long as she's healthy, but she still wants to feel good. That's what I would say is probably what I'm all about. I'm for all women, all ages, all sizes. And that's probably my favorite thing to do is when I see a woman come in going, I want to not look like I just stepped out of a shopping mall. So I put something on, layer them, and they just feel really good. Then it's made my day. So that's why I do this.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I love how much you've been able to bring in organic elements, very sustainable materials with the linen and the cotton and such. You've also got so much employment going on locally with these local artisans. This is amazing. And this is what we're talking about with sustainability, that we are creating something that's going to last. And this is one of the reasons why I was so excited to be able to bring you on with this. And can I just ask you one more question? Because one of the things that always interests me is how we can be better designers, better industry professionals. And I always am wondering about what are the things that really challenged you the most? If there's one thing that you can think of that you had to, that challenged you to push more, if that makes sense. And what is one thing about being a designer that really brings you a lot of satisfaction?
I would say, I'll do the last question first. What brings me the most satisfaction is that person who goes, I'm not happy with the way I look, but I still want to look good. And when I can put an outfit on her and she honestly can leave here and go, oh my God, I haven't felt this good in a long time. To me, I would give it to her because she just feels so good. That to me is why I do this. That's my favorite thing to do.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The challenge of this is for me to try and keep things so that people can afford them and still keep my local artisans. Because that is, I kind of refuse to go elsewhere because there's so much talent here. And I think it's really important to support each other. And if I can keep that and keep it so that I can still afford to sell it, that's my goal, but it doesn't make it easy.
Oh, absolutely. But you know what? A custom piece like what you're creating is so completely worth saving up for, and so completely worth the investment, both in the garment, but in also, you know, for somebody buying it themselves. You know, when you're buying a custom piece like what you make, you are investing in yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you have it forever. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, this has been so wonderful, Anne. I know that you've got to get going,
yes,
so I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. And I wasn't trying to look cool with my glasses. I just couldn't see without them.
No, but you look so perfect. I mean, you are so representative of the Anne Everett cool factor right now. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you again later.
Thank you. Bye.
Wasn't that amazing? I really love having that. And we've got another amazing industry professional coming up right here. As you can see, this is Dana Todd from Balladonna.
Hey.
Hey, it's so good to see you.
You too. It seems like years, but it's only been like a few short COVID months.
Oh my goodness, I could say volumes on that, but let's keep it all positive. Now, first of all, I want to have you talk about a little bit about what you do with Balladonna and what that is and what that means in the terms of custom work. But also, we did get to see a little bit of each other just last week with the Fashion Revolution Week AIBI 5x5 Challenge, where I basically challenged a few people to pick out 5 items from their wardrobe that they already owned and create 5 looks that they wore over the course of Fashion Revolution Week. And the idea there is to, first of all, shop in your own closets. You know, we're talking about having sustainable pieces that are going to stand the test of time. And so what are we going to do with those? We want to keep things fresh. So tell me about Balladonna and tell me about how you felt about the 5x5 challenge.
Absolutely. So Balladonna is a marketplace for custom-made clothing. We represent currently 12 designers from 10 different countries, including the United States. And they all have something in common, which is that they will make clothes custom precisely for you, made to measure, which is kind of an unusual thing now. It's growing, but as far as we know, we're the only marketplace that represents multiple designers that way. And we try to make it easy for women who have never shopped custom before. We'll help you get your measurements. We help you pick out designs. We help you customize it if you need to or want to. And then the designs are created for you on demand, very low waste, very much in sustainable methodologies. And some of our designers also work additionally in sustainable fabrics. And then they're delivered directly to you. So you don't even have to leave your house, which is awesome, right?
I really like this, Dana. And in fact, I think we have a video that you brought along that we wanted to show everybody at home. Can we take a minute to view the video?
Sure, thank you.
I'm going to cue.
I can never find anything that's going to fit here and here or the lengthwise. Enter Balladonna. It's a custom order online clothing shop, and here with us is founder Dana Todd.
Our whole business model is the idea that you can bypass the supply chain and buy directly from makers all over the world, but better yet, have them made precisely to your body measurement.
To your body.
To your body.
Oh, I love it, Dana. Thank you so much. I mean, this is something that 100 years ago, we used to be able to go to our local tailor or neighborhood dressmaker or somebody in the family and have things made to fit our body size. And now we have that opportunity to get that opportunity again. I'm going to find my words somewhere in here. This is wonderful. Can you tell us then what went on through your mind and what you learned with our 5x5 challenge?
So that was actually harder and yet more fun than I expected. Okay, so I thought, oh, no problem, I can do that. I can, I've packed for 2 weeks in a small suitcase. I can figure this out. But it was actually really challenging because, I wanted to, 5 seems like a lot, but if you're trying to get 5 full outfits out of it, I mean, obviously change accessory. This is actually one of the jackets that I wore in my little capsule wardrobe. This is custom made from Sumisura. So I learned that it was a lot of fun and I actually really enjoyed the challenge. And your idea of just shopping your closet, it was that, but it was also like hunting and figuring and, kind of logistically, what can I wear? And that's going to be very flexible. I also realized that I have a lot of orphan pieces in my wardrobe, which made me kind of pointed at them like, maybe you don't have a place here, or maybe I have to see about, phasing you out if you can't do double duty, right? You're on furloughed. But the other part I was really excited about, that the big key takeaway for me is that I kind of fell into sustainable fashion. I'm a lot newer to this than you and a bunch of others. And in fact, when I started the company, it really wasn't about sustainability. I only learned the issue once I started getting under the covers, as it were, with fashion and the garment industry and understanding what it was. So for me, this was a way of deepening my commitment. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, my time where my mouth is, and really thinking this through. So it was a really nice culmination of all the research I've done and the support that I've been doing the last couple of years with our company, with Nisha as well, to support Fashion Revolution Week and all things around this conversation, because I think it's an unfolding, complex, and growing movement.
Yes, absolutely. And I have to agree with you. I thought, 5 pieces. This should be pretty easy. And it was, when I woke up every morning, because I already had kind of graphed out for the week what I was going to wear. And it was such a huge relief off my mind to know what I was already, getting into. But that initial setup at the beginning of the week, where I gave myself time to figure out, okay, what do I have going on? I have to do this. I have this webinar. I have this video meeting. I have to, at this day, I can look like whatever. And that was a bit of a challenge, to make sure that I could double up on pieces on certain days and have other things fresh and whatnot. And realizing that it really can be all about the styling sometimes, which was amazing. But
I'm pretty proud of myself, though, because I feel like I tried a bunch of different things to try to get like both a sort of a business formal and also sort of like a punk rock kind of vibe. So, which is me. I can't stand wearing the same personality day after day, right? So.
Absolutely. Well, and if anybody's really interested in seeing what we did last week, you can check out AIBI.com. We had our 5 challenge is still up on the website, as well as you can keep up with some of the blog posts about it at AIBI.com/news. Or better yet, you can also hop on Instagram at AIBI Chicago. And Dana's, I believe, I know we tagged everybody in it, so if you go back to last week's, otherwise, if you want to share your account, but they should be able to check out everything at Ballodana as well on Instagram, correct?
Absolutely, yeah, it's Ballodana. And thank you, by the way, for pronouncing it correctly.
I'm glad, because I have a tendency. I have a tendency to read it.
Dana, and then I call the company Ballodana, so I can understand why.
No, I completely get it. I'm really glad that I got it right. So I'm really glad to have you on here, because with custom clothing, it represents one of like 2 ways that you can really jumpstart a sustainable closet. One of the other ways that you can do that, because we're also going to bring on our next guest in a moment, is with vintage, by buying something that isn't brand new, giving something a new life, which I really love, because again, a lot like custom pieces, you're going to get something that is wholly unique. And especially once you blend it in with your own wardrobe, it's an incredible way to jumpstart your style. So can we bring on Sheryl Roberts? Hey!
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I am so excited to meet you, Sheryl. We've only had a minute or so, and I'm so glad that Sadia was able to introduce us and bring you on, because one of the things that I was really interested in looking at your website and looking over the stuff that you do at Indigo Style Vintage, which is amazing, is that you have something called the Collective at Indigo Style. And one of the reasons why I really love this is that buying vintage, buying custom, creating that sustainable closet can really help create a relationship with not only with your clothes, but with your community, and as industry professionals with your customers. So tell me a little bit more about the Collective at Indigo Style.
Well, my personal brand is vintage. That's what I specialize in. But the Collective at Indigo Style is a boutique that helps empower young entrepreneurs, emerging designers, and makers to sell their goods in a brick and mortar, so that it helps to build wealth within our community. So it's a boutique. We have 30 brands, all people of color, everything from vintage to contemporary, custom, home decor, bath and body, spa, beauty, pretty that you can think of. So we're kind of like a small anthropology, a little bit, but very unique. And everything in our store is very unique, one of a kind.
I love it. I mean, honestly, and this is even better than anthropology because again, you can create that relationship with the designers. And let's not kid anybody here. The overhead involved in having a brick and mortar store, especially when you're starting out as a young and emerging designer, is mind blowing. Just all the steps. And so I really love the way that you're able to not just bring yourself up, but help bring everybody else up with you, because I think that's kind of what we all need right now. We're all in this together. Well, okay, that's such an overused phrase in a lot of ways.
It is, but it's true.
We can share that light. You know? And so I've been so excited. I've already been like searching around through, be like, oh my God, I didn't know this designer. Oh my God, I didn't know this designer. And I love it. So since I have both of you on here, Sheryl and Dana, let's put the question to you. One of the things I always love to hear about from designers and industry professionals is to find out what is one of the big challenges that you found that you've run into as an entrepreneur in the fashion industry, and what is one thing that you found that really gave you a lot of satisfaction in the job that you're doing? Because there's ups and there's downs. There's going to be plenty of challenges, but what's keeping you in this game, so to speak?
Do you want to go first or I should go? Well, I'll just start. For me, I find that the biggest challenge in general is that retail is definitely suffering. And I think that people are not very well educated on what they're purchasing. So a lot of people are just buying really cheap, fast fashion versus spending the time to look at what it is that they're actually putting on their bodies. Are they putting on natural fabrics and fibers? How are their clothing? How is it made? Where is it sourced from? Where is it coming from? Because those things are important. Instead of looking at things like the quality and the fit and the structure of the garment, I think that we have been looking kind of more so to just like a quick consumption. So that's a challenge. But what I found to be the most rewarding for me personally is the education that I've been able to give my customer base in my neighborhood. People that come in and they want something that's great, they want something unique, they want something that fits them, but also we look towards doing things. We look towards moving towards more sustainability. So, for me, I really try to introduce people to vintage and say, hey, you can incorporate vintage into your regular wardrobe. It's not like old fashioned or old timey. Vintage is actually very fashion forward. So it's just those types of things I think that are important. And that's what gives me personally the most satisfaction. Taking a customer, introducing them to something new, something exciting, and then having that enhance their life.
I'm running out of words to express how amazing and how excited I am to talk to everybody and everything that people are saying right now. So let's see if Dana has some words to put to this question as well.
Yeah, so challenging. I totally agree with you about trying to help educate people on their buying. And I'll further that because buying custom is different than just going in and buying things off the rack. I think in general, just changing women's clothing buying behavior, men's too probably, but I'm focused in the women's space, but just women do the bulk of shopping, and it's really ingrained in us how we buy, how we think, what our triggers are, whether we're motivated by price or motivated by style. We get in a rut, and it's really hard to break us out of that. So for me, the hardest challenge has been getting beyond education and actually changing those habits and getting people to try on something different in their lives and their wardrobe, and also to measure themselves. You wouldn't believe how resistant women are to giving me their measurements. I think in terms of satisfaction, I like making an impact, and whether that's helping one person, and I liked what Ann Everett said earlier, there's a beautiful satisfaction in helping. I still remember one of our first customers, we fitted her for an evening gown, and she had some body challenges, and she had not felt that she was beautiful enough to wear anything nice for many, many years. And so to be able to wear something that was made just for her, that was gorgeous, we were both in tears, honestly. I mean, that just, you know, I love to be able to help transform someone and make them feel comfortable and understand their body better. But then even on a bigger scale of impact, I feel very strongly that what we're doing with Balladana is just the tip of the iceberg towards a complete overhaul of the fashion manufacturing system, moving towards on-demand, moving towards small batch, moving toward highly personalized, and getting to a very different way of mass customization that should ideally take a significant amount of the waste and abuse that's in the system now.
That's wonderful, Dana. And one of the things you touched on there, one of the things you touched on was technology. So is there anything new that you're bringing in with technology that's helping what you're doing? And I want to ask you this as well, Sheryl. Is there anything going on with technology or innovation happening right now that is really upping what you're doing and helping?
So I'll say for us, it's early stages for us, but we currently do support, like if you upload 2 pictures of yourself, front and side, we can actually extract your measurements from that. So that will make that easier. Our next wave is then connecting that to the back-end pattern making systems. So we'll have this flow through of the data. And then our longer range vision is to be able to really create a closed loop around that in a much more integrated fashion.
I think for me, technology is not so much a part of our business. It's definitely more finding that one customer, bringing them in, figuring out what works for them, what colors work for them, about learning about their body, like you said, body challenges, you know, teaching them that things are not really a challenge. Everybody has things that we like, things that we don't like, and it's just how to enhance that. I think that's like what we kind of focus on a little bit more than the technology. We're kind of more grassroots, personalized, small batch, handmade products.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So with everything that's going on right now, obviously you kind of can't get around any conversation avoiding the idea that there's a pandemic that's going on right now. We're kind of in a very I'm trying to remember the French word for it, but somebody I was listening in on with a conversation the other day, they're from Europe, was using the phrase confinement, but in the same sort of way that historically they used to talk about women going into their confinement when they were going about to give birth, right? And I thought that was such an interesting way to understand what is happening to all of us right now. And I was wondering if there's anything about our situation right now that's made you think differently about the future, about where you want to bring your businesses, or is this sort of like, is this an incubation period for anything interesting yet?
Well, it's a painful incubation period. That is for sure. Yeah, it's good and bad. I mean, obviously, and I can't even imagine if we had the overhead of retail right now, we would be in a world of hurt. Being online only seems like it's an easier thing. It's only easier because I don't have a big fat rent to worry about. But all of the events that people typically buy custom clothing for have been canceled. All of our spring markets that we go out to the public have been canceled. So it has been a challenge for us in the short term from a sales and marketing perspective. But what is happening at a global level is that this little interruption has basically toppled what was already a very shaky garment manufacturing industry. And it's forcing change. It's forcing change that people have been talking about and dreaming about and, you know, blowing smoke about for years. But I think we'll actually see some significant change coming out of this. So I'm very hopeful that in the long run, it's good for us.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I think for our business, it's definitely been that has completely put a halt on the way that we did business forward. Business won't. For me, because I do have a retail shop and there are so many brands within my shop, what we've had to do is, number one, completely master e-commerce and online. Like we really weren't so much online before. We were brick and mortar, and now we're definitely moving towards more online. We're moving more towards really talking to our customers. So we're really focusing on emails and newsletters and social media. We're trying to, message them. We're trying to just really have more social engagement because we find that that's going to be moving forward, keep our customer base intact. And then also too, because I have so many brands within our store, we're cross promoting. So we're sharing resources, we're sharing our customer base with each other, and we're really helping each other out. So on my site, I'm featuring my makers on my site. They'll feature me on their site. We're doing Instagram lives together to sell and cross promote. We're just doing pretty much anything that we can to kind of move business forward in this time. And then we're also diversifying, and we're doing things like now we're selling masks. You know what I mean? We're selling, someone in our space who was just doing beauty, they're now doing hand sanitizer because they have that capability to do so. So we're just trying to meet the market and the demand where it is now. And then moving forward, when we open, we're definitely moving towards having only a few people in the shop at a time and offering gloves if you want, masks if you want, and even doing something like just once a week pickup. If you buy online and you don't want to pay shipping and you live right in the area, then we'll go to the store for 3 or 4 hours and give people time slots one day a week, and you can just pick up your things, kind of like drop ship. That's what we're doing.
love that. Oh my God, that's honestly brilliant. It's really wonderful. And I'm glad that, and I think that people, and I honestly really worried that smaller designers, smaller businesses are going to be hit very hard. But I feel a lot of hope because I feel like you're in a position to be able to pivot better than some of the much larger companies whose supply chains have just kind of blown up on them.
Yes.
Who aren't able to get it. And even Dana, you're have things online, but you're working with smaller designers and things like that. I'm actually really kind of hopeful that this means that the small designers, that these individuals, the young up and coming, are actually gonna have their day. That people are going to be disrupted enough that they're going to stop the automatic, oh, well, I can just go to this big box website. Not that there's anything wrong with being able to get something, especially in an emergency, or if you need a t-shirt for something. But I investing in our designers is just, yeah, I'm excited as much as I'm also terrified right now. But on a happier note, as we are all in the fashion world, I had some questions here. Now I have to scroll back up. So what are the fashion trends? What are the things that you're seeing happening that you love right now? I mean, what things, is there anything that you wanted to see disappear?
I think for me, I'm so excited that vintage is in style. It's always been in style for me, but I'm so excited that people are moving more towards sustainability and wearing things brand new. I do love that you do custom design, because that I think is going to be also the next wave. I think that people will move away from big box stores simply because of this, and I think they're going to move towards personalized shopping. So that's super exciting to me. Florals are really in, pastels are really in. I think anything goes. Wear what you want. I like it. I love it.
If I can't have flowers outside, I'm going to definitely be bringing flowers inside into my wardrobe. Exactly. Anything from you, Dana?
Well, we have such a wide variety of styles. I do like that there's a clamoring for buying things out of season, right? And that's one of the things that I like that custom will allow you to do. And I think e-commerce has enabled this to a certain extent. You're not stuck with only spring and summer if you need a sweater, right? So that being in a time displaced thing, allowing people to buy whatever they want, whenever they want is pretty exciting. I love, and I wish, I don't know if I could wear it. I don't think it's me anymore, but I'm super excited about the prairie dresses and the gunny socks and the Laura Ashley stuff coming back. This is this hyper feminine, which is so weird because we're in this, very Me Too, and I'm a raging feminist, I will confess. So it's funny to me that the stronger and fiercer we feel, the more we're like, oh, flowers, pink, and I love that we can embrace that about ourselves, because I kind of came of age in business during the 80s when it was giant shoulders and, actually more like 90s.
80s is really 80s is very 80s and 90s, very in right now.
They are. Actually, this is my 90s hair. I got to bring it back again. I'm very excited about it. It's a little COVID, but when it's trimmed, it literally.
I have to admit, I was a little surprised when I saw, and I'm trying to remember what brand it was, because I remember them from when I was in gym class and whatever. There was the white sneakers with the red and blue sort of like a stripe on it. And I'm seeing them on kids everywhere now. And I'm like, I've lived old enough to cycle through and see these things again. But I think I need to be keeping my eye out. I really want what I'm basically calling a nouveau robed style. So back in the 1920s, we always think of the very, very narrow, straight up and down, low drop waist. But there's also the style in the early 20s where they had like the big poofy skirts.
Yes.
And I kind of want to do that, but I need like a house robe. I need something I can be swanning around my apartment in. So I want a nouveau robe style. It's not just a bathrobe. It's a stylish robe.
That's what we're doing. Those are our best sellers right now. Those are like some of our best sellers on our e-commerce right now are tunic loungers, kimonos, and robes that you can wear indoor, outdoor, so that people can like feel really beautiful when they're in their house. But then also when they want to go out, they can put on a kimono or they can put on a robe. You know what I mean? It's great. I mean, I that's like something that I'm like all for. Like you got to be like comfortable, but robes are like so in. Robes, tunics, caftans, big.
I love caftans.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to my Mrs. Roper years when I can live entirely in wild caftans. That's literally my dream.
Yes.
That's me now, all the time, with jeans.
Yes. Well, and it's the thing though, they look so amazing. It's so simple to put on. It doesn't take much time, but you're going to look amazing. And that's one of the things bringing it back to the amazing aspects of vintage and of customization. You're going to look good. You just know.
Yes.
It's so easy. So let's see what else. We've got a couple other questions I'd like to ask you on the list. So Sheryl, here's one for you. Do you have any tips for a person who is afraid to shop vintage?
Okay, yes. First of all, so many people come to me and they don't want to shop vintage because they are not really familiar with it. They think that it's going to be old or smell or, not up to date, not modern. The thing is they think that vintage never comes in a larger size. So at Indigo Style Vintage, our priority is being size inclusive. So we shop for sizes 0 to size extra, extra large. I mean, we literally scour all sources for that. So I think that like the biggest thing that I could say is when you go in, have an open mind, because a lot of things that are made now are made with hanger appeal. A lot of vintage clothing, it's not made for hanger appeal. It's made to actually fit your body, which may not necessarily look so great on the hanger. It's supposed to look good on your body. So I think that when you go and you shop, you have to have an open mind. And then you also have to just look at the things that you really like. If you love color and you love prints and you love pattern, then that's something that's completely vintage. You get more color, more patterns, more prints in vintage than you do now. So if you just look for those key elements and then you look for things that are definitely more fit, more flattering, more tailored, not even tailored. The thing about vintage is that vintage is better made. That's why it's still around now. Like you can buy something from the 60s and it's still completely intact. The fabric is still good. The fit is going to be impeccable because they've taken the time to put in the work, the darting, the quality, the boning, things like that they really don't do now. The seaming. I think those you kind of have to go and you just kind of have to look for. But most of all, I think you just have to have fun. Like that's what it's about. Vintage is about having fun and just letting your personality shine.
Yes. So we've got a similar question for you, Dana. What do you say to people who are afraid that custom clothing is going to be too expensive for them? They can't afford it, or that it's something that only rich people can enjoy.
I hear that a lot. And then I also hear right after that, they look at our website and they're like, oh, really? I can get that. So yeah, we do have a lot of couture things that are very high end and they're worth it. They take hundreds of hours to build. But there's also because of the advent of e-commerce and global systems, we can now find very affordable custom-made clothing. If you get outside the United States, custom clothing is not a luxury. It's actually the same price or sometimes even less expensive than what you buy off the rack. And here in the United States, it used to be that way. When I was a kid, we were really poor. So we had homemade clothes, right? And it was considered to be not fancy. But now we've kind of gotten into this like, oh, I don't deserve that. That's only for fancy people. Like we have a whole bunch of things that are below $100. We have things that are in the $55 range, less than $60. So we have a lot of what we call our custom everyday. And those are still high quality, still custom made for you, but they may come from a country like India where there's a lower cost of labor. Because we're a marketplace, and Sheryl, probably a lot like you, we just take a commission. So we're not like a retailer where we're doing a triple markup on things. So we're able to give it basically at cost to you as a consumer. So, you know, Amazon, I think, started the marketplace model, and it was very price disruptive for a lot of companies. We don't intend to be price disruptive. We just really want to make this more of a win-win situation, both for the makers and for women. So it's not fancy, y'all. And trust me, if you look at a cost per wear of if you have something that really fits your body, you're going to wear it a lot more than you do the thing that doesn't really make you look that good and you only pay $20 for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have to agree on that one. So I have a question. I think this may end up being more of a Sheryl question, because I think I know what Dana would say to this. But what about plus size? You know, and with custom, you've got the idea that, okay, this is going to be made to fit you, so you're going to have a little bit more luck with it. But vintage, you know, there's this sort of myth and this urban legend that everybody way back when was tiny, tiny, tiny. How do you find things to be?
For the most part, vintage does run small. I will say that. I mean, most of the things, it's a challenge, but the thing about it is it depends on where you source, because I source from all over. I mean, I'll source anywhere from Paris to Paris, Texas. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. And I find the best things when I travel to like Midwestern states. When I go to like smaller states, or they're not necessarily smaller states, but like if I go to Kentucky or if I go to Missouri or any place like that, I can always find things in a wide range of size. And then also too, what I try to do is, for me, I'll shop anywhere. Like, there's no place that I don't shop. I shop online, I shop eBay, I shop Craigslist, I shop estate sales, I'll shop a garage sale, I'll go to a flea market. Pretty much every place that you can think of, I exhaust all options to find things to fit people. Because what I know is that every woman, no matter what age, no matter what her ethnic background, and no matter what her size, they want to feel good, they want to feel confident, and they want to feel special. And I think that when you offer people things like vintage, when you offer things like personalized garments that are custom made, or small batch makers, like capsule collections, those are the things that I think that people really find that they love and they treasure for years to come in their wardrobe, because those things are special, they're significant, and every time they wear them, they get a compliment. So.
I think you really hit the nail on the head there too, with what I find to be one of the key components to creating a successful, sustainable closet personally is it's not fast. You have to keep hunting, and you have to cast that wide net. Like you said, it's out there. The thing that you're looking for that's going to be the perfect piece for your closet is out there. You just have to look, and you have to look in a variety of places, you know? And so that's so amazing to have a resource like you who has the connections, has the networking, and also will help with that hunt, so that you curate an amazing, amazing selection for people who might not have as much time or resources to be able to do that. That's wonderful. So let's see. I think we've got one or two other questions. Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, so the question we have here, in your opinion, both of you, can we wear white after Labor Day? Should we are we in a place where we're just completely throwing out fashion rules right now? Or should we have a few? Do you have a favorite fashion rule?
My rule is that there are no rules. That's just me personally. I think you can wear white all year round. I think there's nothing flyer than all white in the wintertime. I think it's,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's whatever you want. I mean, it's whatever you want. I wear lingerie as day wear. You know, I wear leopard all year round. I wear turtlenecks under slip dresses. I mean, so that I can wear them all year round. I mean, yeah, I don't think there are really that many rules.
Yeah, I agree. Although I usually look terrible in white, so I don't wear it much of the year. Although that's changing now that my hair is grayer. I would say that for us, and this has become much more apparent to me after starting Belladonna, is that fit is critical. So fit and just making sure you're not wearing old frumpy stuff that's falling apart. You know what I mean? Like, and we haven't since I hate to throw things away, hate it. And yet I find that, you know, if I'm not wearing something that feels like well made, or if it's frayed, or if it doesn't fit right, I'm becoming much more cognizant of how that makes me feel overall. So I think in terms of rules, what I would say is prioritize the wear on the things that you know are high quality, that you're mending or fixing things, or finding a new home for things that don't serve you anymore. So yeah, I think rules, no. Guidelines, yes. And by the way, Sheryl, I want a road trip with you so bad. Can we please just go across the country with a van and just buy stuff from everywhere? Oh my God, that would be amazing.
I do want to say one thing that piggybacks off of what you were saying. The one rule that I do say that I do have, and this is a rule, proper undergarments. To me, that's just like the biggest thing in the world. Like, you can wear anything, strapless, halter, back out. You can wear anything you want, and it doesn't matter your size as long as you have the proper undergarments. I don't want to see your panty line. I mean, like, you can wear a bra and have it purposely showing, you know, because that's in style, but still it needs to be proper fit. I mean, you know what I mean? Those things are very important to just the way the clothes look, and also how your body looks in the clothes. Those things are important.
Absolutely. I mean, it's where you start. You start with the garments that are closest to you, you know? It's the foundation. They're called foundation garments for a reason, you know? Well, it looks like we're starting to come up near the end. So to give us enough time to answer this last question, we'll go right into it. Do you have any advice for new and up-and-coming designers as far as making their career successful? This could be especially for those who are maybe in design school and graduating right now, or who are looking to start a business, or maybe had just started a business. It seems like such chaotic times to start in. But maybe there's some wisdom that you guys have had over the course of your businesses and lifetimes that could give them some insight, or you know, a heads up on things to watch for with their own businesses.
What I'd say I learned from our business is that you'll have the best possible outcome for your career and for your designs if you do more than just draw pictures. If you take the time to learn the construction, learn CAD, you know, or learn the design systems, learn construction, learn how to sew, shocking. But you will end up making different decisions once you understand how things are actually made, than if they're just hypothetical, you know, in your mind. So illustrational designers don't go as far because you end up having to pay a lot more, right? You have to go pay somebody to make your patterns. You have to go pay somebody to make your prototypes. The more you can do, the more you're going to save when it comes to putting together your base stuff. And I say the second piece of advice is, wow, are there an amazing set of support partners right now out there, like 19th Amendment and others, that are all they are there for is to help designers succeed by putting together the back-end systems and the supply chains and the delivery and the marketing mechanisms for you. So again, do as much as you can, but partner for the things that are really just make sense for you to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that my advice for designers would be, I think that most designers aspire to be huge brands. I think that they really aspire to be in these stores like Bergdorf and Neiman's. But if you think about it, a lot of those stores are struggling. So what I think is, for designers to be successful, you have to find your niche, because I think you'll be more successful in the long run when you cater to your specific market than when you try to capture the whole thing overall. I work with different designers all the time that come into the shop, and I'm always like, what is your message? Like, what is your brand stand for? Like, who is your customer? You know, what's your target? Because when it's too broad, I think that you miss the market completely. I think you have to figure out who they are, and that's who you have to cater to. Because once you do that, I think other people will come. You have to stay true to who you are. Now, I don't know, maybe that will be successful, maybe it won't, but I think that the designers that I've worked with, when they've done that, they're successful.
I think that's a brilliant piece of insight there, because with smaller designers, when you spend the time to get to know who your market is and what their fit is, because you can't make one garment actually, especially if it's a more fitted, tailored garment, actually fit every single different body type or every permutation of a body type. And I think we're already seeing that in the last few years, even before all this, disruption, that dissatisfaction with finding something they're buying online, as far as like a big box store, or even going into larger retail stores with things that don't quite fit right. And so as a designer, I mean, that could be something in some way that you can really distinguish yourself over and above, other designers. And where, like you said, creating this community of designers can actually really help, because if you have similar styles with somebody else, but you have completely different fits, there's no competition. You just kind of expand your network, because if somebody says they like that piece, oh, well, they're going to love yours, but it's going to fit them better. And you can send people back and forth and vice versa, So that's a really, really great piece of insight, Sheryl. I love it. We also have one other quick question before Sadia takes us up. Someone's like on Facebook. Shannon, wonderful question. She wants to learn more about foundation garments. And this, I smell a new blog post coming out. We actually have a small news blog on AIBI.com. So I'm going to say, give me a little bit of time and let's see if I can add that to the list and get you some more in-depth answers. Also, if anybody has questions about what we've been talking about with sustainability and such, we have a new blog post at AIBI.com /news. Check it out. Sadia, I'm going to turn it over to you to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Dana. Thank you so much, Sheryl. This has been amazing.
I hope you guys will definitely check us out.
Thank you.
Please do. Please do.
It's not completely over. This isn't like a TV show.
We're in the closing.
Yeah. This is the closing. Listen, I'm jumping in because there are a couple of things. One, bravo, Kat, for taking over the platform and rocking it out.
Thank you.
I thought we were going late. Miss Sheryl, there are a couple of things. One, I'm going to show a couple of the masks that I bought from Indigo Style, the collective, but I also am very curious. You got to get up. I need to see one of those kimonos, please, while I put
I want to see the green one.
Can you pull it up?
There's a green kimono behind you.
Let me show you. I'll even put it on for you.
Yes.
I need to see this. Can we make sure that we get the website to Indigo Style up on the screen? And then I want
www.indigo. The website is the collective at indigostyle.com.
We've got it there. Look how fabulous.
Oh my God.
What?
Lovely.
Is that one listed? Can it not be? I might need to talk to you about that kimono.
Oh, then you better talk to me quick, because this is up on the site for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. We'll talk later.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's
oh my God.
Absolutely.
See, you can't just find that in space.
I could not help it. I was like, wait, there's a whole rack there, and I know how fabulous things are.
No.
Cheryl, pull out
I told you I do lingerie as day wear. I mean, I just think like how great like something like this would be with just a tank top. You know what I mean? Like you put this on in the summertime, you go out, you have a little crop top or a t-shirt or a tank with this. It's so cute. And you put on your shorts or your jeans. You can put it on with like overalls. How cute would this be with like overalls and a little t-shirt and then this over it? So cute. just got to think about fashion in a different way. I tell people that all the time. It's like a really big thing. Just like take something that you wouldn't normally wear one way and wear it a different way. Makes your wardrobe expand for sure.
So these are I'm going to show a couple of masks that I got from Indigo Style Vintage.
Like it.
Really fabulous. That's one. Really cool. And again, we're supporting local artists, right? Artisans. These are handmade.
They are.
Fantastic. You know, like a ball cap on, your denim. That's a really good look. And if you want to wear your hair up,
Tight.
right?
Yeah.
It's a sexy look on you, Sadia.
So good. And then it's not.
And the thing about them is that they cover your entire face. Like that's the thing about those masks. Some people are making the mask and they have gaps in them, or they don't cover under here. These cover literally like from your nose all the way through your face, and then they cup underneath your chin. So, and they're breathable.
Do you know what I'm noticing that I'm really loving? Did they put like a cloth cover on the elastic around the ear? Because I know that's one of the things that people have been saying, that if you're having to wear a mask for extended periods of time, it can get very irritating behind your ear. And that's brilliant.
Yeah. So this
that's wonderful.
Can I tell you, like right now, if she's watching, it's going to be a bust. But I sent one of these to my hairstylist because, you know, a lot of people are having to go back to work. And this is a really beautiful pattern. It's a great fabric. And oh, by the way, it has the designers. Okay. All right. All right. But the point is that it's non-threatening. It's beautiful. And it looks and it feels light. You know, there are people who wear glasses and they're like, oh, my glasses are steaming up. Honey, I tried them. They look great. So between Indigo Style Vintage and Dr. Tamara Doolin, and the little filter on the inside. Now, to your point, these have a different backing, which, you know, I've had to make adjustments. But, you know, you choose. We get to choose. In fact, I just want to say a couple of things. One, thank you so much, Kat, for taking over.
Absolutely.
And doing such a great job. To our producer in the background, making it happen. And Dana, it's your birthday. We celebrate.
Yes.
Happy birthday!
Can we quick follow Dana up there? Because what is the actual designer that you got your blazer from? Because you said that blazer you're wearing is on Balladonna, correct?
It is. Well, I don't think it is yet. I can put it up though. So because I know the back inventory and I swap things out, so I know what I can make. But I can make any blazer you want. Let's just say that. Any blazer you want. We have like, I don't know, 100 different fabrics and patterns. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. If it's not even up yet, we got the scoop, and that's brilliant. Thank you.
And for that last kimono, again, these are one-of-a-kind pieces. And, you know, me, I just want to get in there and go through the racks. But thank you, Sheryl Roberts, for being not only an inspiration, but you addressed some really critical things, which is that, one, you know, the fact that you source from all over. The fact that I'd love for you guys to go on a road trip. I mean, if we could film that, that would be fantastic.
Oh, my God. That would be amazing.
You can do it. It's fun. You have fun.
Yeah.
We could have a whole series. Yes. We can have a whole series. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. And again, stay safe, shelter in, and you can go on and, you know, the collective at Indigo Style. Thank you, ladies. Hang tight.
Yes.
Everybody out there. We'll see.
Nice to meet everybody.
You can log on to our Facebook page to find out the next show that's coming up. As I mentioned, we've got Martin Atkins, who's going to be doing, or actually hosting, the Midwest Music Expo. And you guys may say, well, how's that going to happen with everything closed? But stay tuned and we'll bring it to you for you to find out. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. We love you so much. Be well.
Thanks.